So I just bought my first real estate property. Today, let me get you through the whole process of how I did it and how I plan to turn that $550,000 property to over $700,000 in less than 3 years to eventually become a millionaire in the next 5 years. Everything started a few years ago when I discovered the benefits of real estate investing. After watching a few videos of different real estate gurus, I found a certain potential of learning more about this particular type of investing. So I've bought my first real estate course on how to buy your first properties in less than 90 days in Quebec. After spending numerous hours on this course to learn more about the real estate market over here in Quebec, I found the course pretty useful for anyone that wants to start investing in real estate. However, after finishing the course, I faced a massive problem. In fact, we've been caught with a massive pandemic that has had the impact to massively increase the price of real estate between 2020 and 2022. So I decided to stay on the sidelines during these years where we've seen that the real estate market was far from being affordable, because in fact I wasn't in a position where I wanted to invest in a property that I knew would cool down in value over the next couple of years. And it is why I've used this time to learn more about real estate to be ready when it's gonna be the right time for me to buy. And in fact, I would say that I am pretty happy about this decision. Indeed, we've seen that in 2022, after assisting to some massive increase in the price of real estate properties, well, it was also the beginning of another big problem that would affect the future buyers, which is the hikes of the interest rate. However, the good news is that since the beginning of 2023, we've seen that the market has started to cool down, especially with the numerous hikes of the interest rates that have been made in the past, which has also helped the price of real estate to slowly start to readjust. And it was a great signal for me to start looking for an interesting deal. And with the help of one of my friends that is currently a realtor, I've started to look for a great 3 to 4 units property that is worth between $400,000 to $600,000, but with some important characteristics. First, I wanted to be in a great desirable sector that would continue to gain some great value over the next couple of years and decades, but I also wanted to have a property that wasn't too old. In fact, if you decide to buy an older property that is, for example, from the 1940s, obviously you might be paying a little bit less compared to a newer property, but it also makes that you'll have to make many different renovations and it will also increase your total costs. At the same time, the older the property is, the less value it will gain over the next couple of years. And so for my first property, I wanted to keep the process as simple as possible by buying a newer property that didn't add too much uncovered problems. But at the same time, the rents of the apartments are going to be a little bit more expensive, which would also make that I will have more quality tenants. So after searching for the perfect property on the market and after failing to visit some of them, I've finally been able to visit my first property. And that was the kind of holy moment. After visiting this first property, I was flabbergasted by the potential of it. A quite new property of 2004 located in a great residential sector not too far from the downtown of Quebec City. Add to this, while many properties are sold way over their municipal value by sometimes over $100,000 to $300,000, which is mainly caused by the housing shortage that we have over here in Canada, because as I covered on my recent video on the subject, there are currently not enough houses available and that are created every single year compared to the total immigration and the total population of the country, and so it is putting a lot of pressure on the supply of houses in many important markets in Canada. But fortunately for me, the triplex that I wanted to buy was only about $50,000 of over its municipal value of about $500,000. This type of opportunity arises from the fact that the sellers are currently in a divorce settlement where it is supposedly the war between them. All of this made them want to sell their triplex as soon as possible, and it gave me a great buying opportunity to buy it as low price as possible. So after making an offer in competition with another potential buyer, my offer has been closely accepted, which has led to an inspection. The inspection went pretty well, where we didn't add any big unexpected problems except one crack in the basement of one apartment that was creating some mold. But after making a quote to a renovation company, they told me that it would cost only about $800 to fix this problem. But we've been able to have a reduction of about $2,000 compared to the initial price of $556,000 that I first offered to about $554,000. And with my financial approval and my loan that were already accepted, the deal was now complete. But before I share with you what is my plan concerning this real estate property for the future, some of you might be wondering, hey, but Louis, don't you think that it is a risky moment to go in the real estate market with these high interest rates that might continue to increase? Well, as the famous saying goes, if you don't try, nothing will ever happen. So even if I would be willing to wait on the sidelines for the perfect moment and the perfect opportunity to invest in real estate, well, this type of person that is always waiting for the best opportunity to invest will be far behind the person that has already invested years ago. Just like for the stock market, what is important isn't to try to time the market, but more the time that is passed throughout the market. In my opinion, there are and there will always be great opportunities that can be found on the different markets. And concerning the high interest rates problem that might be there to stay for the future, personally, since I had the opportunity to invest slightly more than the 20% needed upfront as the down payment, well, it makes that with a fixed interest rate over the next couple of years, which might not be as optimal as a variable interest rate, I will be paying only some mortgage fees of about $2,000 per month. And what is interesting about my financial institution is the fact that I can repay my capital faster with different methods, where I can add about 15% of my total mortgage every single year to repay my capital, or I can also double my payments to pay the capital faster. And the advantage of it is that my mortgage will be automatically paid from a special account where I will receive all the payments of my tenants. And the great news is that despite having a fixed interest rate where I will always be paying the same amount of money every single month, well, all the interest that I will pay will be all tax deductible compared to investing, for example, in REITs on the stock market. Plus, with the revenue optimization that I plan to do with my different apartments where I want to go live one by one in every single one of them over the next couple of years, and with the renovation that I'll be able to make in these apartments, I'll also be able to increase my total rent from about $900 to about $1,300 per apartment. And so this will help me to massively increase the value of my property over the next couple of years. And by the summer of 2024, I also plan to make some renovation concerning the roof of the property, which will also help it to grow in value. All of these factors mean that once I will refinance my property in 4 to 5 years, I will be able to have gained a lot more equity by also receiving some great cash flow from my different tenants. At the end of the day, I'm just super grateful to have had this opportunity to buy a great property at discount because some people just wanted to sell it quickly, especially with the sector in which it is located and with the scarcity of the real estate properties in Canada, where it is estimated that we'll need to increase our current production of houses by about 3.5 million new houses by 2030 to reach the affordability level. And so this would present a 200% increase of the current production of houses that we have over here in the country. And so with this scenario, you can understand that it will become even harder to buy a house in the future. Personally, I'm just super glad to have had this opportunity to jump in this interesting market, which will help me eventually to buy even more interesting properties. I will obviously make more videos on the subject and on the property that I've just acquired in the future once I'll be the new owner officially. But on your side, if you want to find other great ways to invest in real estate without having to put hundreds of thousands of dollars up front, well, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.